Hey everyone, it's Brett from Hope to Prosper, and I'm here in downtown Laguna Beach. The rain just stopped, sun's out, so I'm going to take a walk and with Bailey, and I'll let you know what's on my mind. Okay, thanks a bunch. Thanks for coming along. Today I want to talk about a kid who grew up on my street, and his name was Jeff. Jeff was 7 years older than me, so he was about the same age, 1 year older than my older brother. And the ironic thing is, he retired the exact same month I did, in February of 2023, so basically a year ago. But unfortunately, Jeff passed away over last Thanksgiving holiday, just 9 months after he retired. So the poor guy, he worked his whole life, retired at full retirement age, and he only lasted 9 months. And so I found out about it a couple of weeks ago from a neighbor from the old neighborhood, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to share the story. You know, it's kind of a downer. Usually I try to keep my channel upbeat and positive, but I kind of feel like there's a powerful lesson in this story. So, and I also kind of want to honor Jeff, and so I thought I would share it with everybody, and maybe it would help you guys in your own lives and decisions, and your retirement decisions. So I'll put a link in the comments below to his obituary, in case anyone wanted to read it. But basically, Jeff lived an awesome life. You know, even as a kid, he was a standout. You know, he was smart. He was a good student. He was a talented athlete. He was on the swim team and a bunch of other sports. And more important, he was just like a good person. I just remember, even though he's a lot older than me, he always treated me cool. He never roughed me up or treated me like a punk. He was always cool to me. You know, you always remember how people treat you more than what they say or do. And he was just a good person all around. So it's kind of sad that he's passed away, especially at such a young age to me. And from what I read, he made it all the way to partner a law firm, which it didn't surprise me because I knew he was headed somewhere big, you know, somewhere important. And the fact that he succeeded doesn't surprise me. But it's sad that his life was just cut short. So I want to talk about work-life balance. You know, I'm thinking about how hard Jeff must have worked to go to law school, become an attorney, then make partner. I'm sure he worked a lot of 70, 80-hour weeks. And I'm just wondering if all the long hours and the stress of the job may have shortened his life. You know, obviously we have no way to tell that, but his parents are still around, so obviously he went out young for his family and his, his genetics, let's just say. So there's no way to know if all that stress shortened his life, but it just makes me think about work-life balance. You know, how hard should we work to become a success, and what's the price we pay in our health and our sacrifices from our family along the way, become successful. So my grandfather, I never met him, but he dropped dead of a heart attack at age 48. And he wasn't the only one from the greatest generation to kind of go out like that. You know, they worked really hard, and that was like their badge of honor. But, you know, back in the day, there was a lot of people having heart attacks and, not even getting to retire. So I think work-life balance is a big deal, a lot bigger deal than people give it credit. And I give credit to the younger generations, you know, like the millennials and Gen Z. We always make fun of them, you know, act like they're lazy and entitled. But, you know, I think it's awesome that they've stood up for this, and they're demanding more balance. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a positive trend. I think that blind loyalty to a company is kind of a one-way street, you know. I've seen so many people work so hard and they just get laid off, me included. And I don't think that's entirely the way to go. I think the real way to go is to have some ventures and enjoy your family. I think those are the real blessings in life. And, you know, all the work accomplishments, things of that sort. When you're my age or a little older and you start to retire, you look back at those things and they're kind of hollow victories, you know. I'm glad I went to college and got a degree, and I'm glad I clawed my way into management, but that's not what has really made my life a blessing. It's my kids, my wife, my family, and all the adventures. So that brings up the next subject. How do you know when it's time to retire? I can't answer this question for everybody. You guys have to make your own decisions. But I could tell you guys how I knew and when I was ready to retire. And I was about to get laid off from my second job in 2 years, and I was scrambling around looking for jobs. And I've told this story before, but I didn't want these jobs. I had a job, I got an offer, I accepted it, and then I no-showed on him and told him I wasn't showing up. The job was really restrictive. It was going to be one of those grinders, and I could just feel it, and I just didn't want it. And this kind of took me by surprise. I didn't expect this because, I'd been an IT manager for like 3 decades, and I used to love my job. I used to get up, fired up, and conquer, And it wasn't like I was burned out or beat down or tired. I just knew that it was no longer for me. Like it was time for me to change the page. Just, switch gears, do something new. And so I just knew it. I knew it in my heart. And so that's how I knew I was ready to retire. And I was only 58, I planned to work till I was at least 60. But I just couldn't shake this overwhelming feeling that, hey, this is over. I'm done with this. And I couldn't explain it or rationalize. I just felt it. And it was also hard to explain to my family and my friends and my wife that, hey, I'm going to do this. People looked at me kind of confused because I had always worked so hard. But that's when I knew it was time to retire. Looking back, I know it was the right decision. And I don't need the stuff that I would have gained from working for another 5 years. Gaining my life was really the bargain. So the next thing I want to talk about is enjoying the journey. Life's a journey, and career's a journey, and retirement's a journey. And if you treat it as such, I think it has a lot of benefit. So I received a comment on my YouTube channel recently where someone they commented that I spent way too much money at this early stage of my life on travel, and that, that might jeopardize my retirement, and that he was planning to save as much money as possible and start to travel at age 70. I can tell you, man, I don't agree with this plan. I don't recommend this for anyone to wait, especially not until you're 70. You might not get to 70, or you might be beat down, or you might not have any money. I think even if you could save more money by waiting, and then you could afford more lavish travel later, I think it's a bad idea. There's a big difference in our lives from our 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s. And I think you have to embrace our mortality and take advantage of opportunities while they're still realistic. I'm climbing mountain peaks and I'm camping in the back of my truck. I'm not going to be doing that in my 70s or 80s. And to be fair, I would rather camp in the back of my truck now than go to a 5-star resort in my 80s. I mean, it's not the same. And so I think you need to embrace the journey. And I think you need to have some adventures in every stage of your life, so you don't run out of time or health while you're saving up. Like I said, I've slept in tents in the back of my pickup truck for decades. Next month, I'm going to the desert, and I'm going to ride my dirt bike. And I'm renting a trailer, but I could still wrangle a trailer and ride a dirt bike. So, I think that that's really my goal, is to keep doing that for as long as I can do it. Surfing, hiking, riding mountain bikes. At some point, I'll be going on cruises or staying in resorts, but that time's not yet. And I don't recommend anybody wait. I recommend you mix in a reasonable amount of travel and adventure your entire life, and that way you don't get cheated. So in conclusion, nothing's guaranteed in our lives, including our lifespan. We just don't know how long we're going to last. I've lost a lot of friends in the early 60s lately, and a cousin, and I'm telling you, it was shocking that they passed away so young to me. So, and money and success, they're worthwhile. They're good goals, career goals. you know, I'm a goal-oriented person. Everybody knows that, and I love my goals, but I don't recommend those at the expense of our health, our time, or our happiness. You know, it's just a bad bargain. You know, the best way I can think of to enjoy a prosperous life, despite whatever my longevity is going to be, is to enjoy as many experiences and adventures as possible throughout my life. And that is one of the reasons that I retired early. And so far, I think that's the best plan for me. And I'm so happy I did it. Something I recommend to others. Don't wait. You just never know what you're going to get if you wait. Okay, that's all I have for today. That's all I'm going to bore you with. I will talk to you next week. Okay, walk's over. Thanks for coming along. It was a short one today. I wanted to cover more ground, but I didn't have a lot of quarters for the meter. So anyways, but thanks for coming along. I just want to wish you all health, happiness, and prosperity in your lives. And I appreciate you liking and subscribing to my channel. And we will see you next week on our next big adventure.